What if Hermione Granger were sorted into Ravenclaw? Her intelligence, wisdom beyond her years, and academic nature should have seen her sorted into Ravenclaw, and it is argued amongst many fans that Hermione Granger was sorted into Gryffindor House to better suit the story. While it is entirely possible that this is the case, can you imagine how different the outcome of numerous situations would be if Hermione was sorted into Ravenclaw House? Now, the first thing to note is that it's not to say Hermione wouldn't have associated with Harry or Ron. I'm sure she would have definitely conversed with them. It's made very clear that the Sorting Hat was deciding whether Hermione would be best suited to either Gryffindor or Ravenclaw, but I believe the decision was made on what Hermione valued rather than her academic traits. She valued friendship and bravery over intelligence and wit, and the Sorting Hat identified that. So if Hermione had instead been sorted into Ravenclaw, how would that have affected the outcome of the story? Well, I'm going to take a different situation from each book and then highlight Hermione's overall importance to the Golden Trio. Harry had said on more than one occasion how lost both he and Ron would be without Hermione's cleverness, intelligence, and highly skillful abilities. She has bailed the boys out of numerous situations and was always a voice of reason for him, and she made things more clearer for Harry to understand with her simplistic approach to the obstacles they faced. With Hermione in Ravenclaw, I think she would have become friends with Padma Patil, and through Padma's twin, Parvati, being a Gryffindor, this is what would create Hermione's link to the house, so we know at least she would have a connection and a conversation to the boys at some point or another. She would apply herself as normal, academic-wise, but from the get-go, her absence would really affect many situations. You see, it's Hermione's hunger for knowledge that made her so valuable. In the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone for my subscribers across the water, she knew not only how to pass through Devil's Snare, but also how to stop it from killing Ron when he couldn't relax by using the spell Lumos Solem. Hermione was also the one who discovered that the creature from the Chamber of Secrets was a basilisk, purely from wit. It was also her use of a mirror that saved hers and Penelope Clearwater's lives, as neither looked at the basilisk's eyes directly. With Hermione in Ravenclaw, I think her interest in the topic of the chamber being opened would see her do some research, as she previously did, and with the fact it was a Ravenclaw student that was murdered, and Moaning Myrtle being the only student ghost, I think Hermione would piece together that she was the person murdered, leading her to prompt Myrtle for more information. I think Hermione's willingness to help would see her pass the information to Harry in order to help him, as it would have been common knowledge due to the limelight that was once again on Harry from his public display of Parseltongue in his duel with Draco Malfoy. By her third year, Hermione's academic prowess would have gained her notable reputation amongst her teachers, and she would have been seen as a promising young witch, destined for magical greatness, like several others before her, which would be expected seeing as she is a Ravenclaw after all. So, with that being said, the Time Turner would have still been given to her by Professor McGonagall, and even with the lack of socialising with the two boys, Hermione would have still attended Hagrid's Care of Magical Creatures class and been aware of Buckbeak's execution. I believe she would have again offered her services to help Harry, as she'd be aware of his good relationship with Hagrid like many others were. I also believe she'd have figured out that Remus Lupin was a werewolf, given the fact that she'd be in his class as a Ravenclaw just as if she was as a Gryffindor, so I can't see too much changing there. I also believe that her displays of authorised magic in class would have garnered her the respect of her classmates too, and she'd have gained quite a few close friends in Ravenclaw. In her fourth year, during the Triwizard Tournament, without Ron's presence, it would leave Hermione open to the advances of other students. Now, although Hermione did like Victor Krum, it was always Ron who she truly desired. With Hermione in Ravenclaw, I still believe her relationship with Krum would have happened, but this time with a little more intensity. She wouldn't need to be so reserved with Ron not around. Even at the Yule Ball, she could properly be herself without worrying what anybody would think. However, she would still support Harry and Cedric in the Triwizard Tournament itself, and after helping Harry in Year 2 and Year 3, I would like to think they had developed a good friendship with each other. I also believe she'd be quite dismissive of Ron due to his below par magical skills. As genuine and nice a person Hermione is, as a Ravenclaw, she values people that are more on the same intellectual level as she was. By the time of her 5th year, Hermione and Harry's friendship would continue to grow, and I think he'd have definitely had her assist him with the training of Dumbledore's army. Hermione would have been highly skilled in dueling as she was in many other areas, and her creation of the DA coins would have come as a positive surprise to both Harry and Ron. They were aware that Hermione was clever, but she really was starting to prove her worth. For me, personally, I think an attraction between the two would slowly develop, as she did speak about Cedric's death with Harry in a manner to which he felt like he wasn't being used for gossip or information, and Harry would have really appreciated that. Could a romance have developed between the two? I'll let you decide that for yourselves. By the time of her 6th year in Hogwarts, Hermione and many others in her year would be quite sociable with each other. Padma Patil would still be a very good friend to her, but her materialistic view on certain things did bother Hermione sometimes. I also believe Hermione and Luna Lovegood would have been very good friends at this point also. With the fact that Luna is a genuinely kind, harmless girl, Hermione would have warmed to her, and was very disappointed in herself that she once believed the Loony Lovegood nickname was a true description of her friend. She also would have been intrigued and envious of Harry's overperforming nature in potions class, due to his use of Professor Snape's old copy of advanced potion making. Her relationship with Draco Malfoy would have still been poor, and like Harry, she would have been skeptical about Draco's peculiar behaviour. With the death of Albus Dumbledore, Hermione knew Hogwarts and the Order of the Phoenix had lost its greatest defender, and it was time to fight the Dark Lord. She would have supported Harry and accompanied him on his Horcrux hunt. Now, personally, I believe she would have went with Harry and Ron, but if she had decided to stay at Hogwarts, she would have been subject to the brutal treatment that Muggleborns were put through. So I think it does rule out the possibility of Hermione staying behind. With Hermione, Harry and Ron now in a close association, Ron's jealousy wouldn't see him abandon the team like he did previously, and they would have been as equally successful as before. Guys and girls, if you want to get your very own Harry Potter Folklore t-shirt, all you have to do is click the link in the description below. There are 5 awesome colours available. We've got Hedwig white, we've got Ravenclaw blue, we've got Slytherin green, we've got Gryffindor red, and we've got Hufflepuff yellow. Click the link below. In addition to that, guys, there are only 7 days left to get your very own Harry Potter Folklore t-shirt. These are limited edition. They will not be made again for the foreseeable future. So if you want one, you know how to get one. Guys, let me know what you think of Hermione in Ravenclaw. Did I miss something? Did I leave anything out? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again.